Open the door the way you always do and listen to what answers. Not words. Not a song meant for you. A shift. The chickadee that usually spills sound like beads pauses on the beat before you step. The robin keeps working the shade but angles its body a few degrees tighter. A jay on the far maple holds a breath and then decides you are still you. You think you just walked outside. Your birds think you just told them who you are, again. They notice it before you notice yourself. Your pace, your path, where your eyes sit, how far your hands lift when you talk to the hose, the way your shoes land on the boards, the exact minute your back door hinge catches. You are louder to them than you think, not by volume but by pattern, and the pattern says safe or wait or everyone down now. Stay with me. By the end of this, you'll know what birds notice about you that you don't notice about yourself, and how to become the calm landmark they read as part of home. The first thing they notice is time. Birds run on tight windows. Goldfinches hit a coneflower at nearly the same minute every morning. Chickadees tour a route with clock-like slots. If you always water the bath at 7:20 and fill the feeder at 7:25, you've taught your yard a schedule. Research on circadian foraging windows in urban birds, echoed by summaries from Cornell Lab and state extensions, shows individuals favor reliable minutes because reliability saves energy. What you don't notice: the day you sleep in, the chickadee still lands on the trellis at 7:18 to see if the show starts on time. The day you're early, the robin is already waiting 2 fence posts away. Your routine is a signature they read. The second thing is pace. A fast straight line across open ground with arms wide is a hawk written in human. A slow arc along the edge, hands low, pausing before you bend. This is a deer that doesn't hunt. Garden studies from the University of Exeter and others suggest small songbirds dial their flight initiation distance to specific human movement patterns, not just to all humans equally. Try it. Walk the center of the lawn at full stride and watch how far a robin gives you. Next evening, skirt the hedge with soft feet, stop 1 step sooner than you want, and keep your hands below your waist. The robin's bubble shrinks because your shape tells a different story. Third, your eyes. Predators stare. Even curious kids do. Most prey species, birds included, treat a full, held gaze as the beginning of a chase. You probably look straight at a pretty bird because you love it. The bird reads you as a test. Train yourself to look with your shoulders. Turn a little past the bird so your body points away. Keep your head slightly averted, use the corner of your eye and soften your focus. The difference is subtle and immediate. You'll see foraging resume while you stand 10 feet closer than yesterday. Fourth, your sound. The scrape of your scoop on the seed bin. The clink of a spoon on the nectar jar. The latch's 2-note click. Your car's idle. Your steps on the stair. Birds build an acoustic file on you. Urban bird cognition studies and everyday field notes agree. They distinguish specific people by their sounds and change their behavior accordingly. A jay learns that your door hinge means water is coming and announces it to everyone else. A chickadee registers the way your feet land when you're just passing through versus when you're on the feeder route and adjusts its risk. If you doubt this, say your birdbath phrase out loud at the same minute for a week, water's on, and watch who appears at minute 8. Fifth, your path of intent. Birds draw lines across your yard. The feeder to hedge sprint, the bath to perch hop, the chickadee's safety ladder through cedar. If your line crosses theirs, they lift. If your line parallels theirs at even a short distance, they often stay. Map your 3 common routes, to the feeder, to the hose, to the compost. Shift each line by 2 steps toward the outer edge and hold it there for 3 days. You'll get closer, see more, and announce yourself as a neighbor who shares the sidewalk. Sixth, your silhouette and tools. A rake carried high is a hawk's wingspan to a nervous wren. The same rake carried low along your leg is a log. A hose swung in loops looks like a striking snake. A hose laid flat and folded over your arm reads like grass. A hat, sunglasses, or hood can radically change your outline. Some birds, crows especially, track faces and head shapes. University of Washington work on corvid recognition shows long-term memory for threatening masks and people. This isn't just a crow thing. Pigeons, magpies, and some garden birds can distinguish familiar from unfamiliar faces. You don't need to hide your head. Just avoid sudden costume changes in the week a new brood fledges or a shy species is testing your place. Seventh, your hands. Birds read the height of your hands like punctuation. Hands below the waist say you're passing. Hands above the waist say you might reach. Hands overhead are a shout. Keep your gestures small within 15 feet of active foraging. If you need to point something out to someone, point with chin or elbow. The chickadee that thought you were just noisy turns into the chickadee that feeds through your presence. With your breath. This sounds like poetry, but it's practical. The first 10 seconds after you step into the yard carry a wave. Fast feet, quick hands, tight shoulders, shallow breath, scanning eyes. Your body says, "We're late," and the yard hears it. If you want close behavior, exhale. Drop your shoulders. Count to 3 before you move the next step. Birds notice calm rhythm as clearly as a blue jay notices a hawk. 9th, your edits to the map. You trim a shrub, clean a branch, move a pot, raise a feeder 2 inches, install a new yard flag, add a shiny spinner because you thought it looked friendly. You change someone's runway. Birds notice structural edits instantly and rescan the danger math. 4 3 days after a trim, give their route the right of way. Favored gentle edits. Lift a branch to see a nest, then let it fall. Tuck a pot 3 inches deeper into cover instead of putting it on an island. The speed with which normal resumes is your reward. 10th, your ethics. You don't see ethics when you walk outside, birds do. Clean water, windows they can see, seed that doesn't smell like a warm garage, feeders that smell like sun and soap instead of mildew, cats indoors, a brushy corner held back from tidying, a human who steps around a fledgling instead of scooping it. These are all ethics made visible. They become the difference between a jay yelling down for 2 seconds and a jay announcing open for 20 minutes. American Bird Conservancy and collision groups repeat it for a reason. Dots on the outside of glass at 2-inch spacing turn a mirror into a wall and save a dozen bright lives you'll never know you saved. 11th, your micro-rituals. Birds are ritual machines and they love yours. The cup you tap twice on the porch rail. The phrase you always use, "Water's ready, okay friends, good morning," the way you set the rake in the same corner. These small repetitions become a language they trust. A robin that stayed 3 fence posts away last month will feed inside your bubble next month not because you are a different human but because you turned a fog into a map. 12th, your no-lunge rule. Every yard has a moment when trust is won or rusted. A fledgling lands too close, a hummingbird hovers at face height, a chickadee takes a bead of water from the bath while your hand is still there. If you move fast, you write unpredictable into the yard. If you resist the reach, you write safe twice as deep. The next day, the window ledge warbler works the ivy while you stand nearer than etiquette would suggest. Pass the test once and the yard replays it for years. 13th, your response to alarms. The whole place freezes at a jay's scream and you keep raking. To the yard, that reads as noise in a fire drill. If you want to be included in the neighborhood, stop when they stop. Look up. Wait 10 seconds. When contact calls stitch the air back together, start again. You've told them you are listening to the same station. Mixed species eavesdropping is well documented. Cornell's work is a great starting point. Join the network and you're no longer the person who walks through their meeting, you're someone who attends it. 14th, your voice. Talk to the yard the way you talk to a skittish dog. Soft rhythm, lower tone, phrases you reuse. This isn't magic, it's metronome. Hummingbirds, chickadees, and jays respond to regular rhythm almost more than to specific words. You can train yourself out of the "hey buddy" squeal and into the "easy now" waters on cadence that doesn't spike adrenaline. 15th, your patience with imperfect. The wilder a corner looks, the more comfortable birds are in using it while you stand close. Our human tidy impulse is the enemy of our own curiosity. A 1-meter square of wild, held for 1 season, becomes your camera blind. Birds will use it as home base 5 feet from your knees. You think you left a mess, they think you finally erected a wall. How do you know this is working? Your birds will tell you with tiny edits to their own behavior. The chickadee that bounced through 3 pre-landing scans last week now comes in on a single arc. The cardinal keeps singing when you open the door instead of cutting the note in half. The goldfinch leans into the seed head while your shadow crosses its perch line. The jay that used to curse you when you refilled the bath now calls once and begins drinking while you stand within 2 steps. A robin tilts its head and goes back to soil instead of bounding away. These are not accidents, they are verdicts. Here are simple experiments. No gear, just attention. You can run this week to feel what birds notice about you. Experiment 1, the 40-second start. 4-3 mornings, step outside and stand still for 40 seconds before you move anywhere. Hands low, eyes soft, shoulders down. Note how many seconds pass before the first bird resumes visible action. Day 3 is almost always faster than day 1. Your start became a cue. Experiment 2, the path shift. 4-3 days, use only edge routes. Do not cross the center of the lawn once. Keep tools low. Watch how closely birds feed while you pass. You will feel like you live there for the first time. Experiment 3, the phrase. Pick one soft phrase, "water's on," and use it every time you refill the bath at roughly the same minute. On day 5, say the phrase without water. Count who arrives anyway. That's your acoustic signature becoming useful. Experiment 4, The gaze test. Choose a robin that tolerates you within 20 feet. Day 1, look straight at it as you approach and note the distance at which it lifts. Day 2, look slightly away and angle your body past it. Note the difference. The number is what your eyes say when you're not listening. Experiment 5. The alarm check-in. The next time the yard freezes, freeze too. Watch the jay, the wren, the robin. When you hear the first quiet contact calls return, move again. After 3 repetitions, you'll notice you are no longer a separate rhythm. There's a dangerous thought at the edge of all this, that birds are reading your heart and judging your character. Keep the romance but hold the science. They're reading patterns. And patterns translate quickly into reputation. University of Washington's Corvid work showed long memories for threatening humans. Garden studies in the UK show individualized responses by songbirds to familiar caretakers. Even pigeons can be trained to distinguish friendly and unfriendly people and pass that knowledge. This is not about being a saint. It's about carrying a stable profile into the yard. What about clothes and colors? Don't overthink it. Wear whatever keeps you moving smoothly. Deep shadow and motion matter more than shirt tone. If you want one simple tip, avoid big color changes on sensitive days, first fledgling flights, heavy migrant traffic, a new feeder. The week you turn neon is the week you look like an untagged species. One more thing birds notice faster than you do: your mood expressed as micro-movement. You don't need to be happy, you need to be predictable. If you are rushed, give the yard 2 minutes of slow before you sprint. If you are angry, water first and talk to the hose until your shoulders forget. It sounds silly until you realize a chickadee can decide whether to invest in a cash run based on how you move past its tree. There is also the matter of distance, and it's not the number you think. Bird distance is less about feet and more about angles and cover. 10 feet across open sun is a warning. 6 feet along a hedge with low hands is a conversation. 2 feet beside a feeder while you face the other way is nothing at all. Learn your yard's angles. They're as stable as street maps. Will birds ever come to you? Sometimes. A hungry jay may beg. A hummingbird may hover in the space where your face lives when the feeder is empty. A chickadee may cache a seed in a crack you can reach. When they do, your work is not to become the star. It is to remain the landmark, present, calm, rhythmic, unstartled by your own luck. What birds notice about you is 1,000 small things that add up to a single sentence. Are you a predictable part of the place or a variable to be managed? You write that sentence every day without thinking. Now you can write it on purpose. Here's your simple practice for the next 7 days. Day 1. Move feeders and water into the path birds already use from cover. Mark your big window with a 2x2 pattern of dots or lines outside. Choose your phrase. Day 2. Walk only edge lines. Keep tools low. Stop once for 40 seconds and count a full 10 slow breaths. Day 3. Refill water at the same minute and speak your phrase. Watch the first 5 minutes and note who arrives first. Day 4. Trim nothing. Tidy nothing. Leave the brushy corner alone. Stand beside it for 60 seconds and watch who uses it as a stage while you're there. Day 5. Practice the gaze test. Approach with your eyes soft and your shoulders angled past. Note distance. Write it down. Day 6. Join one alarm. Freeze. Breathe. Wait for contact calls. Resume. Feel the difference in your own chest. Day 7. Put it together. Walk the edge. Water with your phrase. Pause to breathe. Smile without teeth. Tell the yard, with your pace and your path and your stillness, that you remember what it remembers. Then tell me what changed. Did a chickadee feed through your steps? Did a robin resume digging within 6 feet? Did a hummingbird hover at face level without bolting? Did the jay announce your arrival as if you were the truck that brings the bread? Drop one exact minute, one specific distance, one tiny story in the comments. Your notes become a small library everyone here can read. And they convince you of something true and simple. The birds in your yard are not reacting to a stranger every morning. They are noticing the person you show them, in motion and in minutes all the time. Be the landmark you'd want to live beside. The yard already knows how to read it. Now you do too.